nasty bantered around, but you've not been paying attention to what happened. This was on September 11th, a day when everybody knows how important it is to have your security at its absolute best. Hillary Clinton authorized them to not have that area, I think it was a safe house, was the actual embassy, not be up to the security standards that are required for a facility like that. And the only way that you can not have it meet the security levels that it's supposed to is if the Secretary of State authorizes it, kind of gives it a pass, and says it's okay, we'll make an exception here. Wasn't a good idea to make an exception there. Our commander-in-chief goes to bed, and he had live feed of this. He could watch the whole thing on the drone as this was happening on September 11th, 2012. But before his re-election, he didn't want anybody to know about it. So he told the military to stand down. And because of that, we lost 2 brave Navy SEALs, another brave American, and our ambassador, Chris Stevens. I mean, we've gone to war for less. And this guy goes to bed so he can get up bright and early and go read the teleprompter at his next campaign fundraiser in Las Vegas. Really? And we re-elected this guy? What are we, nuts? Are we suicidal? Tyranny? This is 1984. If you haven't read the book 1984, you go read it. It should have been dated 2012.
I found you once before, and I really liked everything you had to say. And now tonight I stumbled on you, going just through the channels. And I'm 83, great-grandma.
Oh, wonderful. God bless you.
And you can't believe how happy I am that I heard this tonight, because I've known all along. People say, that probably I don't like Obama. I said, I was married to a black man. I loved him. He died. Otherwise, I would still be with him. So I'm not prejudiced in any way.
Of course not.
No.
None of us are. None of us are.
No, and I could feel from the time he ran, my husband would not have voted for him, because he's a sneak and he's a liar, and he tells lie after lie, doesn't do anything for the country. And I knew, did you hear from the first week he got in? So many of my friends say, oh no. Well, the first week he got in, put in 12 czars into the White House.
He put 12 czars. Oh yeah. He's got czars all over the place.
Yeah. And so he's selling our country out from the inside out.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
So I believe he's the true Manchurian candidate. That's my own personal opinion.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not about. See, the left likes to shut people up about any sort of criticism of this man, because of the fact that his skin pigmentation happens to be a little bit darker than any of his predecessors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? It's not. It's as the Republican Martin Luther King said. It's not about the color of his skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the content of his actions, in my opinion.
Yes.
And the content of his character. Content of his character is obviously not good.
No.
And they can, and just because you deign to say that, that's political correctness. Like in that book 1984, and they have the newspeak. That's what political correctness is. They want to shut you up by telling you that you're not being politically correct. Have you ever read that book by George Orwell, 1984?
No. What is it?
1984.
Oh, 1984. No, I'll have to look that up.
It was written by George Orwell back in the 40s or something like that. And he thought this would have all happened by 1984, which of course it didn't. But now everything that's been happening, it's very, very scary.
I have an electric scooter because I'm in a wheelchair. And I have a great big impeach Obama on the back of my wheelchair.
God bless you, Jerry. 83 years old, and you've got a impeach Obama sticker on the back of your wheelchair. That's amazing.
And my sister thinks I'm going to get killed. But I told her I went to Fred Meyer, did an hour's worth of shopping. Not one person approached me about the sign. And it's a big sign. The conservatives sent it to me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You've got to get somebody to take a picture of it, you wheeling down in public with it on the back.
Okay.
Okay? Send it to me. Send it to me or post it on as a comment or something for you, okay?
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. I appreciate you calling.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Keep watching
Okay.
Now,
8 to 9, the 3rd and 4th.
Thursday of the month, between 8 and 9 p.m., Comcast Channel 11, Frontier Files Channel 22.
Okay.
Call in again.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, that was great. That was Jerry, 83 years old, and she feels a lot like I do and a lot of other people do, that our country's being run down the drain by the current administration. And this is going to really shock you. These other scandals that we have been basically covering up, obfuscation, distractions for this next one. SEAL Team 6, they're the ones who took out Osama Bin Laden, went down in a helicopter, in a Chinook 1960s era, Vietnam era helicopter that it hadn't been retrofitted since the 80s. They put somewhere near 20 of our America's finest in there. Then they had some very strange anomalies. They took out the Afghans that were supposed to be on the helicopter that were on the manifest, were not the Afghans that were on the helicopter. They switched them out the last minute. We have no idea who went down with them. They went into an area where there was a lot of Al-Qaeda, and they were not allowed to lay down ground fire to protect themselves, and they were shot down. The autopsy reports came back and showed that they were alive when they got down there, and they were fighting them off. The government had them cremated. This is the video. This is the father. They had a press conference at the press club, and hardly any press came. So let's watch this. And
August 6th, I got the call about my son's death. It's like a knife in my heart that turns every day. I cry every day. I get sad every day. My other children, you know. Michael's 25 years old. And we go to Dover to see the bodies. And we're all in the hangar down there. And President Obama comes up to me and he says, "Mr. Strange," he grabs me by the shoulders, "Michael changed the way America lives." I grabbed Mr. President by the shoulders and I said, "I don't need to know about my son. I need to know what happened, Mr. President." And the Secret Service guys grabbed me. I'm crying. And he went to give me a hug, and I whispered in his ear, I said, "Mr. President, is there going to be a congressional inquiry?" And Mr. President whispered in my ear, and I could feel his lips touching. He said, "Mr. Strange, we're going to look into this very, very, very deep." Well, I haven't heard nothing. October, we went down for General Colt's assessment of the investigation. We have a projector screen. The families are there. He's going over what happened. He said it went through a chain of command for this landing site. I raised my hand. I said, "Sir, could I have the names of that chain of command?" His neck snaps. He said, "It's in the book, sir." I said, "How about the black box?" Black box got blown away by the flood. In Afghanistan? Come on. Can't find the black box, which is really orange? I looked it up in Google. Them black boxes don't go away. They lose black boxes in the swamps in Florida, and they find them. You're going to tell me you can't find the black box? Not acceptable. I tell my boss stuff like that, I get fired. Right? My son's 25-year-old son got set up and killed. I have the book right here. They didn't put no ink in it. How can you give me a book with no ink in it? I call up the command. They said, "We got a lot of complaints about that." I said, "Well, send me another one." We burned it. You burned it? They gave us a disc. Put the disc in the computer. It's whited out. See 2 sentences, it's whited out. My beautiful wife, I was looking at it. I said, "We have to do something with this disc." My wife, the genius, it's not me. Michael's stepmother, my heart and soul. We print it out. We print the disc out. It tells you everything. It was a setup. The Taliban sitting there with machine guns, motorcycles, phones. Who called them to tell them? And it says something to the effect that over 100 Taliban plan to travel from Providence through the Tangine Valley to possibly shoot down the coalition force. May 11th, 10 days after they killed Bin Laden, the Taliban know who's coming in a Chinook helicopter. It's in the paperwork. They run into 18 to 20 of them. I said, why didn't they take it out with a drone? Admiral Horowitz turns around and says, to win the hearts and minds. How about my heart? How about my mind? I cry every day. My kids cry. To win the hearts and minds of them people, they hate us. They hate, my son told me they hate us. The okay. Who is going to be held responsible? Someone has to be held responsible. And it says in our paperwork, it goes all the way up to the top. It mentions Petraeus. It mentions Leon Panetta. All the way to the top. It says they shot an RPG 150 to 200 yards in the pitch dark. They have night vision goggles, the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda. They got AK-47s. They got RPGs. They got man pads. When we're changing the rules of engagement here to benefit them, we lost almost 7,000. Our guys coming home, does anybody know the suicide rate for these poor men coming home? It's 1 a day they're killing themselves. 1 a day these men are coming home. Killing themselves. I met men that were over there. Poor kid, you can't pop popcorn around them. We're changing the rules. So he says it's an RPG, a lucky shot. Are we playing basketball, hockey? Is he out of his mind? There's nothing lucky here. All our sons are dead. You know? I raised my hand. I said, General Cole, could it have been a missile? Heat-seeking missile, right? And there's no coincidence that Doherty and Woods might have found some heat-seeking missiles, right? Man pods, thousands of them, and all of a sudden you see what happened to them. All of a sudden, all these SEAL Team 6 guys are disappearing. Something is wrong. We need a congressional inquiry. Somebody has to be accountable for the biggest loss in this war. And here's no eye in the sky. The eye went off. When the helicopter got shot down, it's in the paperwork. We didn't know what helicopter got shot. It took us 10 minutes. 10 minutes. My son, right? My son, Michael, was fighting for his life. Nobody came and helped. They didn't have the pathfinders there to check the area. Nobody checked the light. Nobody counted. Well, who's calling the shots here? This is bullshit. They told me my son had to be cremated. Everybody has to be cremated. My son didn't need to be cremated. I got pictures of my son. He was fighting. He had a gun in his hand. Come on. Fighting for this country, for us. And you're going to lie to me and slap me in the face? I called the command. I said, why'd you cremate my son? My son didn't want to be cremated. He's like, what do you mean? I got pictures of him. When I asked for the autopsy report from Dover, they sent me a disc with pictures. He's sitting there fighting. Everybody was burned beyond record. No, everybody wasn't burned beyond record. Another lie. Somebody has to be held accountable. No pathfinders. All of a sudden, the eye in the sky don't work. This is all facts. This is from the people that were there. We don't know.